Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're so glad to welcome you as part of our community tonight. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and distributed live stream. By entering this virtual meeting room, you give your consent to be recorded and distributed by Simeon Morrow, EU, and other third parties. If you prefer to not be recorded, please turn off your camera and microphone and/or go to the Facebook Live video feed, the link to which I will now place in the chat room. For a better experience, please turn off your microphone and set your video to gallery view. Tonight, our featured guests are members of the Broadway Station Jazz Band: Stéphanie Morales, singer and artistic directress, Néto Mantovani, pianist, and André Fournier, stage director. Also joining us is Professor Lino Rivera of St. Mary's College of California. Stéphanie, Néto, André, welcome.
Hello. Hello, Simeon. Well, hello, Lino. It's so nice to be with you where I belong. You're looking swell, Jerry. I can tell, David. You're still growing, you're still glowing, you're still going strong. I feel the room swaying while the band's playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So reach that gap, fellas. Find me an empty lap, fellas, till you'll never go away again. I feel the room swagging while the band's playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So reach that gap, fellas. Find me an empty lap, fellas, till you'll never go away. Till you'll never go away. Till you'll never go away again.
Wow, fantastic. What a lovely introduction. Thank you so much, Stephanie and Neto. So tell us, Stephanie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everybody. Well, I'm a French singer. I started singing at the Opéra de Lyon. First, I studied in Vienna, so Musikhochschule, Universität für Musik und Darstellende Kunst, Vienna. Then I started singing at Opéra de Lyon. And I live in France, where I am also a voice teacher. I'm working with singers. I'm also working with actors, young actors. I also sing musical and jazz and pop music.
Fantastic. Neto, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hello everybody. So, I'm Brazilian pianist. I came from France on 2040. I'm pianist composer, and I had my studies in São Paulo, Souza Lima, Berkeley. After I had my exchange with a school, Didier Lockwood School in Paris. where I make my formation in 2050, and after here we are in Lyon with many groups, different projects. So it's nice to be here.
Fantastic. Andre?
Good evening. Well, a very long time ago, I studied drama in Syracuse University in New York State, and then I came back to France to direct mainly operas, and then more and more theater, and now I'm more a playwright.
A playwright.
Yeah. So in that project, I think Stéphanie chose me for the direct. She chose the director that I am and a bit the playwright.
Okay, so a theater director and playwright. Fantastic. So tell us a little bit, Stephanie, what exactly is Broadway Station and how did you get involved with it?
Yes, in 27 I had a production, a musical, 50 million Frenchmen, called part piece, and then I had to sing this American Beautiful music, and after that my colleagues they said to me, well, it's a very good music for you. It was the first time I did it professionally, because at home I sing it also, but professionally. And they say, yeah, why don't you sing American music more? It will be nice to hear you in this music. Well, you have a good feeling for this music, and why don't you try something? So I founded my own group, Broadway Station, for 8 years with jazz men. And well, we are two singers and a jazz quartet. At the beginning, we were 6, and yes, we worked on songs, especially repertoire from Barbara Streisand, and the male voice, Frédéric Gignoux, had Frank Sinatra songs, and people asked us to tell a story about that. So not just only singing, but telling something, telling a story, because maybe they felt that we love acting, not only singing, but really. And that's why I wrote with André. We wrote together a first show, a play, une pièce. And then after that, people ask us, well, why don't write also a show just with about Barbara Streisand? Voilà. And that's the second show we wrote together with André Fournier. I don't hear you.
Yes, thank you. So you came from opera, where you were doing in entire operatic
Yes,
pieces, acting and singing.
I'm a typical soubrette soprano.
And so when then you sang a musical for the first time, you had been listening to lots of musicals before, you liked this kind of Broadway music, but then you sang it for the first time and people told you, wow, we want more of that.
Yes, exactly. That's it. Exactly.
So then you founded this group, and it was more than just a jazz group. It was kind of to create musicals that you would sing in your own, create your own musicals, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Neto, so tell us, how did you get involved with Broadway Station?
So I arrived at Lyon on 2019. I started to make some concerts, and now Stephanie was one night when we was playing a jam session, and was like friendly musicians, and we meet with each other. And after we talk, I saw the project. At the time, it was with Joaquin, another pianist. And after I had the invitation to make part of the project. So I say yes, of course, with great pleasure, because it's a kind of music that is my background to Barbra Streisand, Broadway, and all of this. So we had a lot of things that we share in music. Donc,
So,
ça me fait plaisir.
so Neto,
Yes,
you're a Brazilian pianist and you studied in France, and you're telling
yes.
me that Broadway music is kind of the thing you do. How is that?
I love this because my background is it's mixed music all time. I have the background of my father's collection. We had I started piano at 4 years old, classical music, and after I had the background like Motown, Steve Wonder, all this kind of stuff, Beatles, and of course after the jazz. So after my 60, 70 years, it was my first contact with jazz music. After before it was Brazilian music, bossa nova all time. So I always open mind to know new things. So I love this kind of thing, mixing things, because I work with composition too. Donc, so this bring me a lot of different elements for my
Fantastic.
formation.
So maybe then you will work with Stephanie and Broadway Station to bring in more bossa nova music, which I don't think they've
Well,
been doing yet.
it would be great.
Fantastic. Andre, tell us a little bit about Broadway Station and how you got involved.
Well, I think we knew each other with Stephanie, but one day she was doing a concert in front of Opéra de Lyon. At that time, in the summer, there were jazz shows, and I was there, and she sang with Fred, and they both sang Sinatra's and Streisand songs, and I loved that show, so I went to see her, and we talked together, and she said, well, I have in my mind an idea about the show. We would talk about the two singers plus sing. And I always is very interested in concerts which are not really concerts, which are half theatrical and half musical. That's so the project interested me a lot because we had to write the script, but also we had to imagine how we could find a new way of doing a concert. And that's why we did the two shows together, and maybe there will be another show after. I don't know.
Who knows?
Andre, tell us, you are a playwright, you said. Now, have you worked also with opera, like Opéra de Lyon? Have you been stage directing mainly just theater or also opera?
No, a lot of operas, and I wrote 3 librettos, but I was really in classical operas. And more and more, I created a small scale opera, which was a new thing. Which so
this small scale opera, like you said, this is kind of a challenge, a new challenge, like you said, if you're writing for Broadway Station, where you have Stephanie, maybe one other singer. So it really seems like it's a much bigger challenge if you have to create, like you said, something out of a lot of songs.
But it needs to have a singer who's also an actress, and that's the case with Stephanie. It's not always the case in France. As I said, my studies was in Syracuse University in grammar department, so I was used as a student to meet actor who sang and danced very well. And unfortunately, in France, it's not really the case, except for Stephanie. So she's a rare artist.
Wow,
that's why
fantastic.
I think it's very good in the two shows, especially the Streisand, because she can both sing and play.
Stephanie, tell us, how is that? Where did that come from? Those talents to dance, to act. It's not common in France, Andre says. How come you developed those talents?
Yes, it's not so common, well, it's something I had. I Since I'm 9 years old, I've seen on TV wonderful films, musical films. Fred Astaire and Jane Kelly and An Américain à Paris. I don't know the original title of all those beautiful films, An American in Paris, singing in the rain, singing in the rain, and all those beautiful films. And it was my eyes were glowing like that, and I said, oh, it's exactly what I want. I want to sing, to dance, and to act. And well, I'm not a dancer. That's the life is going too fast, and I try to sing, I try to act, I try to dance. Yeah, I do my best, but I love that.
Okay, and just to be clear, this wasn't something you learned in Vienna, because you mentioned you studied in Vienna.
Yes,
This is kind of
I'd study opera at and both, and I also studied musical theater at Musikhochschule at the university, Vienna
so. This
University.
was
I do
this is
both
something.
parallel. So yes, I was a young singer. I was 20, so I had this formation. No, well, this. Mhm.
And so this is something that you got especially when you went away from France, that had you just studied in France, you wouldn't probably have been able to get that formation, like you say.
Now there is in Lyon and in Paris, you can see everywhere a lot of there is a lot of possibility to study musical theater. But at my time, there was very few.
Okay, a pioneer, fantastic. We have a question from Professor Lino Rivera of St. Mary's College of California. Lino?
Yes. Okay. Well, first of all, Stephanie, I'm just so taken. It's just you're singing, and it sounded so personal to me when you mentioned each of our names. Really, really touched by that.
Welcome.
Okay. Um, I actually have two questions. Number one, do you still sing opera? And number two, you're so talented, and being a professional musician myself, it's always a question of funding with all of your project with your group. Where do you get the funding, and who? It's kind of a full-time job to just secure some funding, because nothing is going to happen without the support of the money. So those are my two questions. Do you still sing opera, and where do you get your funding for your organization?
Mm. Well, I do. I still sing opera. Not much, but I do. I practice my opera voice again, and I have some concert, classical oratorio and operette and operas from time to time. Not much, but I do, of course. Well, and about Broadway Station, it was a lot of work to build that artistically, and also the other aspect, not so funny, finding where to play, have enough money, and so to pay people, that's not so funny. So it was a very, very hard work, but we were lucky to be invited on festival. People I met from the time where I was a soloist at Opéra de Lyon. I was soloist there 8 years, in the ensemble of Opéra de Lyon. So at that time, I met people that now are director of festival, and I spoke with them and yes, I have this project. What do you think? So they invite the group, and it started like that. And so, we go on this way. Just being invited, not especially foundation who gives us money or something. No, but if
Okay.
someone we ask if someone wants a foundation for helping Broadway Station, so welcome.
Okay, so let's take a look at the trailer to the show Imagine. Very nice. So, Stephanie, tell us a little bit about how you got the idea to make this show.
Uh, um, well, as I said before, some friends of us who follow the group ask why not writing a show just about Barbara Streisand, and the idea came as a fil conducteur. So I don't know the word, through the song "Imagine," John Lennon, that Barbara Streisand sings in one of her last album. She make a cover of this beautiful song, and it was the Simon, can you help me to say it's the idea go? Can someone help me? It's the word imagine is le fil rouge, le fil
Yes, it's
conducteur.
the leitmotif. It's called.
Yeah,
It's the central idea that
c'est
runs through
ça,
the entire show.
c'est ça,
Okay,
exactly.
and so you had the song "Imagine." This is, like you said, the central combining element of the whole show. Did you
Yes.
have an idea? I mean, what other people told you do Barbara Streisand, or I mean, did you have a special affinity with Barbara Streisand? How come? Why Barbara Streisand? Other people, just because other people told you?
Yes, people, not me, but people told me, well, it's so funny. There is something in your voice, this little something in your voice that reminds Streisand, I was told. So so I was, oh, really? So then I started to look for songs, and that's and to build and as a program
And
with
I'm
her
curious
songs.
because last week we had Caillou Amon on the show, and he was mentioning that he used Barbara Streisand's voice, and he liked it because there was nothing operatic at all about it. Is that, do you agree with that? And
Um,
what does that mean then when somebody tells you as an opera singer
you
that you
know,
sound like Barbara
well,
Streisand?
alors first, she the piece you mean she sang it with a normal voice, a pop voice song effect, but she has something very specific in her way to sing through the melody that belongs to classic. So le phrasé, how she phrase it, it's very classical, and how she pronunciate and everything is very classical. She well, she knows, she hear the résonance and comment on appelle les harmoniques du son. Elle a une very good ear. So, well, she could have sing classical music, so she loved opera and classical music.
Okay.
Well,
And Stephanie, tell us, on the human side, is there also Barbara Streisand, something about her life? What is it that you want people to get out of this show when they leave? What do you want them to be thinking about?
yes, that's a good question, of course. The Her life was very difficult at the beginning because she wanted to be an actress, but she was not looking so good like the women at this time. They had to have to be blonde and to be like this, and she was not. And well, and she was from a poor family, and so, and but still she had a temperament very strong, and when you dream it, how is this sentence? Si tu le rêves, tu peux le faire. If you dream it, you can do it. So her whole life shows that with the imagination you can yeah, develop and go through things and make it real. But first you have to open your mind and dream about it, and that's the idea of the show. Dream about it and then go, and
Fantastic. So
that's
very
it.
inspiring, very personal message that you took from Barbara Streisand's life that any of us can be inspired by. Like you say, dream of it and you can do it. Fantastic. So let's, I'd ask if you might have another song you could sing us.
Yes, we have a lot of songs, so we can go on with the way we were from A Star Is Born. Memories light the corners of my mind. Misty watercolor memories of the way we were. Scattered pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another, of the way we were. Can it be that it was all so simple then? Or has time rewritten every line? If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, should we? Memories may be beautiful, and yet what's too painful to remember? We simply choose to forget. Far is the laughter we will remember. Whenever we remember the way we were. The way we were. The way we were.
Brava, very nice. How moving. So tell us, Andre, a little bit about when Stephanie came to you and she said, we want to do a show. What is it that what were your first thoughts? What would the challenges be to make this thing happen?
Well, at the beginning, I admired Streisand as an artist, of course. And when I started reading about her life or reading interviews and her talking about her by Stéphanie, I start admiring the person. It's such a great personality, but also a strong person. And she's very on humanity. She has a great humanity. And technically for theater, she's like Sinatra. Those people want to be understood. They don't sing just to sing. It's very important for them to give a meaning with their voice. I know Sinatra was very interested in that. He was very precise. He wanted people understand the text. So of course, these two figures are interesting for somebody like theater, because they use the song like they would use the text for theater. So knowing, I told you already that Stéphanie had this both capacity of play and sing. Right away, say we do have to work on that specific of those artists, which are singer, yes, but also actor in a special way.
And so, Stephanie, tell us about what was your how did you choose the music? You said that Imagine was originally recorded as a cover on one of her later albums. How did you choose the songs? And did you do that with Andre?
Mhm. Yes, we did it together, but we choose the songs. We to go through her life. So we start on the 60s. So and we well, we tell the story of her life through 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and nowadays. And we do it chronologiquement, in the
Chronologically?
chronologically, and in the way that the songs and the dialogues that we have are coming. Well, Andre, can you help me to explain that idea? Through the songs, we explain her life. We go through her life through the songs and through the years.
And so, Andre, how did you put together these texts? I mean, and when Stephanie says through these texts and the songs, we go through her life, it makes me think right away of Mozart's The Magic Flute and think about this kind of, you got a text and a scene and then a song. Did you use something like that as a model?
Absolutely, it's like a Singspiel at a certain part. No, what's interesting in the case of Streisand is that what she does artistically, it's always always an echo in his own life. That means when she says a dialogue in a film, it tells something about her. When she gives a piece of interview, it tells something about her. When she sings a song, it tells something about her. So we tried in intertwining, in mixing spoken word and song to give an insight of that personality and that artist. So it was a very interesting work to do a kind of an echo between what she said and what she sang. That's mainly the work we've done.
So I'm kind of curious to know about how you created. Did you take then texts from her actual, that she were actually published, her own text, or did you create a text that has never been spoken by somebody who's still living today?
Well, mainly it's real words, and sometimes it's written so it seems to be words, but in any case, it's always true. All the little anecdotes about her life are always very true. We work closely to our biography, and Stephanie met a club. You could tell us about it. Fan club, I don't know how it's called, who love Streisand, and they have many books and documents. So it was very help to have all this material.
So, Stephanie, you were in touch with Barbara Streisand's fan club, and
Yes,
how did they
exactly.
react when you said you were writing a text about her life? I mean, have you received any love letters or any hate mail?
Well, not hate mails, no. Well, it was very interesting for me because they gave me all these anecdotes, things that most of people don't know. And also a documentary, a big documentary about her, and all the sentences that I use when I'm in the show are all from her, from interviews, something that she explained, that she tells, or from a film, or we use only through we wrote a few. It's things we put in are all true things, true material from films, from interviews, and things like that.
Would you be able to give us a little idea? Would you be able to recite some of the texts for us now?
Well, at the beginning, she said, "Mom, I will make this audition for this film." And the mother, "Oh, my little, look at you! You look awful. You can't go. You will never be an actress. Look at your arms. Your arms are too thin, trop maigre." And it's something that Streisand tells in her interviews, that the mother at the beginning was very hard with her.
And how do you make the two figures then? I understand and appreciate that you're
You have to
translating.
come to the show if you want to
okay.
hear me playing the mother and the daughter. You have to come. You're invited. And now maybe we can say that the next our next concert is on the 11th of July at the Cré Jazz Festival. We're invited for this show the 11th of July in France. So welcome.
Fantastic. We can take a look at that right now. There it is. So the Crest Jazz Festival, and it's part of the Jazz au Village.
Mm-hmm.
And there they are on 11th of July. We have the Broadway station doing Imagine. Wonderful. And there we have from Jazz Rhone-Alpes, dressed as Barbra Streisand, Stéphanie Morales interprets with a great sensitivity, a beautiful elegance, and when necessary, a touching fragility, the repertoire of Barbra Streisand. Lovely. So there we are. I will give this right now I will put this in the chat room so everybody can have this.
And come to France.
There it is. So Stephanie and Broadway Station are awaiting your arrival there at Crest Jazz Festival on the 11th of July. So Stephanie, so anyways, thank you for translating all of the text from French to English right away like you did. So maybe we can have another song?
Yes, and the next song is from a beautiful film, Yentl. And well, before or after, maybe I'm sure André will be able to speak about this this film, because it's a very important part of her life. God, our Heavenly Father, and my Father who's also in heaven, may the light of this flickering candle illuminate the night the way your spirit illuminates my soul. Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you see me? Papa, can you find me in the night? Papa, are you near me? Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you help me not be frightened? Looking at the skies, I seem to see a million eyes. Which ones are yours? Where are you now that yesterday has waved goodbye and closed its doors? try to understand me. Papa, don't you know I had no choice? Can't you hear me praying? And you think I'm saying, even though the night is filled with voices, I remember everything you taught me, every book I've ever read. Can all the words in all the books help me to face what lies ahead? The trees are so much taller, and I feel so much smaller. The moon is twice as lonely, and the stars are half as bright. Papa, how I need you. Papa, how I love you. Papa, how I miss you. Kissing me. Good night.
Brava, moving. Wonderful. So Neto, tell us a little bit about when Stephanie said she wanted to work on a song like this with you. What did you say? What are your feelings? How did you rehearse it with her?
Well, I'm so grateful because this kind of stuff it's very rich harmonically. It's like a thing that when I saw this music the first time, it's been a long time, but I never imagined to play in real because I think it's so rich. So when I saw this thing closer, I, I discovered many another details because it's very rich harmony, and this make pleasure to play this. It's all time like this. All the set list we had a lot of stuff like that, and also we have the opportunity to play with another musicians through like on 11 July. It will be a pleasure to play with Jean-Louis Asbonino on guitar and Frédéric Guignot on batterie, on drums. And so it's my first concert. It will be my first concert. So it's with the group Broadway Station. So everything is new for me, but I appreciate too much this experience.
And Stephanie, tell us, working with a new pianist, it seems like it must be take a lot of time and be quite a challenge as well as a pleasure. How has it been with Neto?
Yeah, I choose Neto because I know this pianist. I had the opportunity to sing with him on a concert, and both is important for me, the musician and also the person. So I'm very happy. I'm grateful to have Neto as a musician and as a friend in the team.
Lovely. So Andre, tell us a little bit about what you mean when you say Imagine is a concert, but it's not a concert. What do you mean by that?
First, if I have time, but very shortly, I'd like to say a few words about Ian Toll from the film from where the song comes from.
Please.
Because it's for those who haven't seen that film, you should see it absolutely. This is a masterpiece, really, and it's a masterpiece for many reasons. First, because she's in that film, she talks, we heard it, about the relationship she had with her father, the relationship she has with her religion, And second thing is that she struggled to be able to make that film. She decided to be the actress, the singer, the scenarist, the producer. And for a woman at that time, it was amazing. It's a huge work. And not only the film is a beauty, but the music is great. And it's Michel Legrand, of course, which we find also in the show because they like each other a lot. They were very close. And to answer your question now, yes, the idea of a concert, not a concert, is a bit what we've said all along this interview. Is the idea not only sing song after song, but try to put some little story played by Stéphanie. When we talked about the episode with her mother, it's of course a little story with two voices, but sometimes it's the insight, the thought of the actress which is delivered, and it comes in the song, before the song, after the song. So it's also a musical job which was done by the musician to be able to talk on the music without damaging, make a damage on the music. See what I mean?
Okay.
It's big work to be able to mix the spoken word, the words which are sung, and that was really very interesting to do. And the result is this kind of it's like a dream. You go from here to here with music, with words. So that's why I said it's not really a concert, and it is a concert.
Okay.
But to see, we have to see it as she said, to measure the thing.
Okay, so on July 11th, and maybe Stephanie, if you are willing, do you think you could give us a little example of, I mean, sing another song and show us kind of maybe this text, how it leads into the song? Or are you going to do that only on July 11th?
Well, yeah, there is at the point of a show. It's à propos Michel Legrand. She's doing like that. She's on the rehearsal, second hand rose. We're singing at the end of second hand rose. She has a conversation on the phone with Michel Legrand, and she says, "Oh, hello." I'm doing like that. So, hello, Michel. It's Barbara. Hello. Well, I was yes, I'm on rehearsal with my musicians for Funny Girl. Yes, I have a question. Yes, Michel. Would you be able to come to New York? I have a nice project with a French song. I want you to be my musical director for a French album. Ça s'appelle Je m'appelle Barbara. Could you come to New York to work with us? Yes. Oh, great, fantastic. Bye bye. See you. So, I translate, but it's in French. We do it in France, in French.
Fantastic. Yet another talent that Andre didn't mention. That's very impressive how you can translate everything from your French show instantly into English. Wonderful. So would you be willing to sing us another song?
Yes, à propos French repertoire, because Streisand loved France and loved French musicians and composer. So not only Michel Legrand, she worked with during the 60s, in the middle of the 60s, but also one of our great singer, Jacques Brel, and we would like to sing now if you go away. if you go away on this summer day, then you might as well take the sun away. All the birds that flew in the summer sky when our love was new and our hearts were high, when the day was young and the nights were long and the moon stood still for the night bird's song. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away. But if you stay, I'll make you a night like no night has been or will be again. I'll sail on your smile, I'll ride on your touch, I'll talk to your eyes that I love so much. But if you go, I'll understand. Leave me just enough love to hold in my hand. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away, if you go away. Moi, je t'offrirai des perles de pluie venues de pays où il ne pleut pas. Je creuserai la terre jusqu'après ma mort pour couvrir ton corps d'or et de lumière. Je ferai un domaine où l'amour sera roi, où l'amour sera loi. Toi, tu seras roi, mais ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas. Je ne vais plus pleurer. Je ne vais plus parler. Je resterai là à te regarder, parler et sourire, et à t'écouter jouer, et puis rire. Laisse-moi devenir l'ombre de ton ombre, l'ombre de ta main, l'ombre de ton chien. Mais ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas. Ne me quitte pas.
Brava. Lots of applause going on. Well-deserved applause. Once again, another special talent of Stéphanie Morales and Broadway station, the French Chanson. Not every singer has the talent to sing that repertoire. Wonderful. Very touching. So we have a comment from one of our participants who is also very dedicated to this show, just like Stéphanie Morales. It is her teacher, Carol Bagout-Forte. Carol?
You hear me?
Hello.
Hello, Stéphanie. Tu es incroyable. Mais je dois parler en anglais maintenant. You are incredible. I am so excited to see what you have done with your talent. This ensemble that you have created is absolutely, they are so incongruous and together. That is wonderful. And what is also extraordinary to me is that you can climb over from one style of singing into another and maintain a healthy voice. I'm just what you have done extraordinary. I hope you somewhere you have cloned Barbara Streisand like no one else could.
Thank you so much.
That's all I have to say.
And
Thank you.
yes, and also thank you because I was one of your students, and you gave me a lot of inspiration for the voice, and still today for me as a singer and for me as a teacher. So I think about you every day, Carol. So and thank you. Merci, merci, merci.
Merci beaucoup.
So, some glowing review from Carol Bagot-Forte. Thank you very much. My question is, so after that lovely song you just sang, would you like to sing one more, or is that it for tonight?
It depends if we have enough time, because I don't know what time is it now.
Yes, we have plenty of
it's
time. We
20.
can, in fact, stay here all night if you want to keep singing.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit? What? Comment? On peut? On peut?
We're willing to stay all here for as long as you're singing.
Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She is smiling alone in the lamplight. The withered leaf collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. I was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Every street lamp seems to beat a fatalistic warning. Someone mutters and the street lamp gutters, and soon it will be morning. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too, and a new day will begin. new day has
Brava. Wonderful. Lovely. So let's take a look at, once again, what's coming up, how you can see Broadway Station yourselves in performance. It's at the Crest Jazz Festival. That's on the 11th of July. And I will put that in the chat room once again in case you're interested to go. Other than that, let's see how we can stay in touch with Stéphanie Morales and Broadway Station. There we have Broadway Station. I can see that, which I can't see that at the moment. It is broadway-station.com. And so Stéphanie, lovely. So there we have, I believe, contact at stephaniemorales.com. And then we have a phone number too. Is that right, Stéphanie? People can contact you that way?
Yes, of course. Yes, with pleasure. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay,
and
so
invite us to sing.
Wonderful. Okay, so there, and we have even.
I'll write an American version of the show, of our show.
Fantastic.
With your help, Simeon.
With pleasure. With pleasure. So there we have all the information about Broadway Station and how to contact Stéphanie Morales, Artistic Directress, about any questions you may have about upcoming concerts. If you'd like her to write an American version of Imagine. And here's the website again. I just put that in the chat room. Fantastic.